Greetings, everyone. I hope you're having a most excellent day. This is Doug, the Eclipse Whisperer, I guess, if you want to call it that, with another hopefully interesting video on the quirks and bugaboos that I have to clean up as part of my life, career, whatever it is. Anyway, so in this particular case, we're going to deal with the Cashbox. And in this particular company, they've been on Eclipse for over 6 years. They reconciled the Cashbox the first 2 or 3 days they were on Eclipse and then forgot. So, of course, this makes the accounting look like all kinds of crazy. The system thinks there's like $12 million in a little metal box that's 4 inches high and 12-foot square, which couldn't possibly be true. Not to mention there's an awful lot of sales orders that are kind of in limbo. They've never been completely cleared out, and of course the bank account balances are way off as well. When you've got a multi-headed problem like that, it's really hard to figure out where to start. But in my thinking, there's no sense in balancing out the bank accounts if you have all these pending transactions that were supposed to be deposited into those accounts. So clear those things out. Anyway, so as a general rule, in a perfect world, the Cashbox would be every day reconciled with the Cashbox reconciliation program, as you see here. And everything would stay nice and in order. Fairly simple. So how things went off the beam here, I don't know. But how do you claw this back and put things back on the right track? And that can get a little daunting. So in my case, it made sense to run a few reports that were in here. Like the Cashbox journal. Apparently, in this case, everything's so far off that the Cashbox journal report shows me crazy, so I couldn't rely on that. So the next place that I went to was to do a GL inquiry on the Cashbox account for this particular branch. And that's when I saw how many years things were out. Now, it would have been nice to be able to just use the Cashbox reconciliation program and just plug these numbers in. But as you can see, well, in this particular case, there's cash that you're depositing, there's checks you're depositing, there's credit cards that you're depositing. In our particular case, this company deposits each type of payment in a different bank account and a different number. So I couldn't just dump these numbers in here in any more in their current form. So they had to be broken down. Trying to get a handle on that was not easy. Now the inquiry allows you to do a view detail. So let me pop up here to the top, and we'll do a view detail on that particular day. And of course, in the middle of recording, my VPN connection dropped on me, and I had to reset everything. So yeah, the gods of recording instructional videos is smiling on me as usual. Probably what I get for living in Bodfish, California, where our internet is apparently 2 tin cans and a string. Anyway, where was I at? Oh yes, so viewing the detail. So if we pick a day here, do the view detail, now we see all the Cashbox sales orders that went in, but still no, well, was it cash, was it credit card, was it what? But we can drill in that further. And now we finally get what we were looking for, that this was a credit card transaction. Now, that's helpful. That's great that Eclipse gives me that, but I've got 25,000 orders that I have to process, and I'd rather not spend the next 6 months of my life doing that. So what I need is a report that I can download that would give me that information so I could process a little bit more automatically. And of course, there's nothing quite obvious. So let us close out that for a moment. So, as I've mentioned many times before, I'm old. And I've been on Eclipse a long time, and a lot of those years was in eTerm, and a lot of the reports and report systems that are in eTerm are what I tend to default to, because I usually have something already existing that I can kind of modify. But there may be other ways of doing this. I poked around in the normal web-based report writer, and I couldn't get out of it what I was looking for, but may have just required some more patience than I was feeling like putting in. Anyway, so a report that'll give me that information of, okay, it was a cash sale, but was it a credit card cash sale, a check cash sale, or a cash sale? So let us go into the report writer mass load, and here is the report that I conjured up that ended up giving me the information that I wanted. Now, you see here, the magic here is these different dictionary attributes for Cashbox. And it'll show you what you need here with these. The check number, that field, that dictionary attribute is odd. It looks like it's giving me comments. It's not giving me an entered check number, or maybe there was just never an entered check number, but a little odd. Obviously, I want to run this for a range, so we look in the set builder here, and I'm running this report for 1 year at a time. So we're going to go ahead and change this to end 12/31/2018, and we're looking for. Normally this report I use for pulling out invoices and totals, but if you change the status to dollar, it's going to pull the information on the actual payment. So we go back here and we do an alt run, and we do an alt hold to send it to the hold file. And Mr. Phantom should pop up here fairly shortly and give us what we need. Okay, so our Phantom has come back and is scrolling our little message down here at the bottom. So now we can do our really slow download from our hold file. And so we're going to download it to our local computer so we can work on it. I'm going to call this Cashbox, and for the year 2018. With this downloader, you have to type in the file extension, or else you get something that you can't open, which is kind of annoying. In this case, I'm dumping it to temp directory on my local drive. We're doing no data conversion. As you saw on that listing, if you're familiar with this report thing, it has a spreadsheet download, which is not spreadsheet download. It does CSV format, and I find that a pain, with Excel, of having to do the reformatter, and it tends to foul things up. So I've written Python conversion programs that just take these text file dumps and convert them into a spreadsheet for me, so I don't have to hokey pokey around so much with the spreadsheet. And as we can see here, it's clicking away, and okay, download complete. Yay, Kermit. And now that's the last we need to deal with eTerm for a bit. All right, here is the report that we did and the information that we are looking for. Here's our cash, credit card, checks, Cashbox, balance, etc., etc. And as I said, check number is, I really don't know what that attribute is. It's obviously not what they said it was. There's another attribute which they have called check underscore NBR. It produces even less useful information than that. So it wasn't critical for what I was doing, but that's Eclipse for you. Or the Rocket Universe database anyway. So, as mentioned, I have Python conversion programs, dozens of them that I've written and rewritten in different languages over the years. Currently, they're written in Python, which I think is the fourth programming language I've had to learn over, over 20 years. And I'm sure you're asking probably, well, have you ever learned PicBasic? No, and I refuse to. I find Retrieve arcane, and no thank you. Even the people that wrote the books on PicBasic back in the 1980s, I'm sure, died a long time ago. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and run our translator program. All right. And we're picking the Cashbox 2018.txt file. And hey, my program doesn't totally suck. Excellent. And we do a refresh here, and okay, here is our report in a spreadsheet that I can actually make use of. So as we take a look through this report, and we see it's the report that I created was kind of not the most sophisticated, so I pulled all transactions from turn on date on June 12, 2017 to the end of 2018. And I've already done 2017, so I want to just isolate 2018. Okay, and through the magic of the pause button, I have gone ahead and isolated all the 2018 transactions, all 3,597 of them, and summed up the different cash types and the totals. Before I go any further into the reconciliation, I want to check that the number that I've come up with here, 1,570,495.05, is a fairly close approximation. In this case, I want to do a transaction to close out the entire year for the Cashbox 2018. So going back to our geo inquiry, within the same date range as the report that I ran, 1/1/2018 to 12/31/2018, and as you can see, since this is a geo inquiry, it's giving me a running balance for that date range, and going all the way about bottom, we have 1,574,95.05. Hey, it matches. That's good. Now we can go ahead and do the reconciliation for that year and clean this up. Okay, so we go to our Cashbox reconciliation and deposit. As I had mentioned, in this particular case, we have a different bank account that handles each type of cash, and there is a parameter in control maintenance for the Cashbox to assign those accounts. If I were Scott Zahn, I'd show that to you right now. I don't feel like it. Anyway, control maintenance. You'll figure it out. Branch 1. Okay, payment date we're going to make for that year, so it shows in the appropriate place on the journal. So we're going to do 12/31/2018, which should match our range. Or yeah, 12/31/2018. My comment is going to be DF number 3 because those are my initials, and this is the third deposit I've done to reconcile. And now we plug in the appropriate numbers that we need to plug in for cash, and check and credit card. And I skipped over the entry a little bit because I'm just a little bit dyslexic, and sometimes I fat finger those numbers, and I didn't want you to see me to have to retype those in 4 times. I'm sure you probably find the idea of a slightly dyslexic computer guy / accountant amusing. It's not amusing for me, and I'm by no stretch of the imagination an accountant. Anyway, so as we said, we're plugging the numbers off our spreadsheet into the appropriate places here. The last one that I did here was the credit card, which was 526.87.67, which we put in there. And if we've done this right, then we should have a write-off of 0. And now we can go ahead and post this, and that should clear out the year. So we do file save, and it's going to nag us that it is going to do some journal postings. Those are good. These can be corrected if you foul them up. I have occasionally put them in the wrong date, and then I can edit them and put the date in. I'm sure you can probably cancel them and re-enter them too. Try not to make mistakes if you can, of course. And that completes that. Now if we go back to our GL inquiry and do an update, hopefully if I haven't messed things up, we should see the posting at the appropriate date, at the appropriate amount, and yeah, we zeroed out the entire year. Very good. So that was the result that I wanted. In this particular case, I had to do a recheck, and it looks a little bit pokey because the number that I had before I posted was 1,574,95. Then after I did the posting, it seems to have thrown a balance there. Looking back on it, this is a date issue. 12/31/2018 was a Monday. Apparently, when I posted it, it put the reconciliation here before the final total of the Cashbox for the day. But the end result worked out as I had wanted anyway. And honestly, this kind of stuff makes my brain bleed. I'm not an accountant. And God bless all of you people that are accounting professionals. I don't know how you do it. Anyway, so this is the tricky little process that I've come up with for trying to get the Cashbox all straightened out and up to date. If there are better ways, I haven't found them yet. If you know something I don't know, please drop me a line. And hopefully we will keep the Cashbox straight from this time forward. Anyway, thank you for your time and attention. This has been Doug Fashing.